All right, we're going to go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Again, thank you so much, Amy, for joining us.
And
And
thank you.
know a little bit about your school district, hiring practices. You are a co-host, so you're able to share screen. So if you have a presentation or if you want to share the website, you can do so.
Sounds great. All right. So is it just Giselle that we have here today so far? Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen with you if I can find the one I want. Because I want to use a PowerPoint to really kind of guide the conversation. Thank you, Giselle, for joining us. So my name is Amy Solis. I'm the licensed recruiter for Salem-Keizer Public Schools in Salem, Oregon. And so we are the largest, second largest school district here in our area. Currently, we are serving, and this will be all a part of this PowerPoint. We are serving quite a large population of students that represent a very diverse background. Specifically, our Latino population is one of the highest in this district. We are also serving students, many coming from backgrounds of poverty, trauma, etc. And so there is a lot of need for teachers that represent our students, and so that is part of what we are trying to accomplish. And I will play a little bit of a video in regards to Salem for those of you that are not familiar, and I'm hoping that this will, there it goes. I hope you can hear it. Let me know if you can't. So all of those things that you were able to see in the video are either in Salem or within a 45-minute drive. And we like to share that video just to give people an idea of kind of the Pacific Northwest and what it looks like to live and be a part of our community here in Salem, Oregon. Once again, we are the second largest school district in the state, and we are serving about 42,000 students. And we have about 2,400 licensed teachers that we work with and 106 school-based administrators. All of this is compiled within 44 elementary schools and 11 comprehensive middle schools, the 2 charter schools, and then we have the 6 comprehensive high schools, the technical school, and the alternative program school. Our technical school is actually one of our latest additions to our district, and it really encompasses a variety of programs that really have created opportunities for a lot of our students. So there's a culinary part to that. There's mechanical programs. There is some engineering, cosmetology, etc. And all of these students get to practice that field in a professional manner. We are also, once again, like I shared, a very diverse district. So most of our student population is divided pretty equally between our Latino population and our white population, with a few other backgrounds being represented as our Pacific Islander, Asian, African American, American Indian. And the languages that that are spoken in our district, there's about 81 different languages, and we try our best to really try to accommodate for everyone and make sure that we are meeting the needs of every single one of our students. There are many of our students who speak more than one language, and we find great value to ensuring that we are able to provide not only the services to the family, but academic enrichment in their native languages. As I think about just kind of the overall licensed journey with us, I think it's really important to note that depending on where you sit in your education, so whether you're graduating with a bachelor's degree, master's degree, or have some continuing education, your salary can really range. If very basic, just a bachelor's degree, you would probably start at about $42,234. And that goes up to the $83,126, depending on your additional education or your experience when it comes to the teaching profession. And we are one of the states that does validate, or one of the districts that does validate any of your prior experience, regardless of the amount of years that you have spent teaching in another place. If you're coming in as an administrator, then you can start out at about $80,000, and it goes on from there until about $131,000. We do have our PERS pickup, which is 6%, and that is our retirement account. And then our district has a pretty competitive insurance premium that we put forth for our staff, with, again, leave, sick, family, personal, depending on your accruals. We're for sick, but everybody does get family and personal kind of set. Yearly step increases, yearly column moves on salary schedule if you're adding education hours, and cost of living increases. One of the other things that we offer quite a bit of is our tuition reimbursement. All of our staff that is a licensed educator qualifies for $1,000 a year towards additional learning. We also have programs that are available that you could apply for on a competitive base that can also pay up to $5,000 a year of tuition and fees. So there's stipends for bilingual educators, there's special education teachers, and there are many opportunities for paid professional development and summer school jobs, which is, I think, one of the biggest impacts that our district has for our staff. For our new teachers or our new hires, we have a program set in place that is typically what draws a lot of people into our district when they're moving into Oregon. We have a mentor program that is set for all of our new educators. And so we provide you with a district mentor that is different from our site mentors. Usually every school will have an instructor mentor, a site mentor that is kind of available there to support the building. But we offer a district-wide one, and there are several, so the groups are kind of a smaller group. And this district mentor will assist you in planning and incorporating all of your different curriculum and tools and materials that you need for your first year, making sure that all of that is a smooth transition for you, and that you are able to fully engage in your first year of teaching. They will come in, model lessons for you if something is new or difficult. They will come in and do observations to kind of help help you kind of work through that first year. They do things even, coming in and preparing materials for you, just really a lot of support. And it's a huge benefit to our first year teachers. It takes place that first year, and then the second year you continue to have that same person support you in a more I would say, they're still involved, they're still there. I would say it's a little bit more hands-off as we transition you into your kind of own space and being able to kind of function and run your classroom on your own. And the third year, then we kind of transition you into really reaching out for supports through your building mentor. So there's always someone there to support you. And I think one of the reasons why we find a lot of success for our first year teachers is that they have that one-on-one relationship with this mentor. So we are a large school district. We do have a lot of career growth paths, and we are working every day to provide different pathways for everyone that is interested in growing in their profession. So currently we have been working with our classified staff to support them in getting them into a licensed position if that's what they're interested in. We have been working with our licensed staff if they're looking to go into administration and providing pathways and connections to be able to accomplish that. And then from there on out, I think it's really important to know that we support our staff and their growth. And we try to be very flexible in how we do that. And we try to get very creative to support the needs of everyone that we're working with. We value each one of our staff members. And oftentimes we're connecting them to financial opportunities or program opportunities that are going to facilitate that move. So we have cohort programs to add licensures and endorsements that we partner with specific universities to make it so that it's something that is doable while you're still working. And we also offer in-house professional development and transfer rights within the district if that's something that you're interested in as well. We need licensed employees all the time. We hire about 250 new licensed teachers every school year. This year was supposed to be a little bit different. We were supposed to about double those numbers with some money that was voted in this year. Unfortunately, with the coronavirus and everything that has happened, we have had to maybe wait a little bit, and we're hoping to implement that the following school year. So I always say it's really important if you're considering that move, or if you know people that would consider coming and working for us or in our area, just really letting them know that it's important to kind of keep their eyes out and their ears open for any kind of information that may come even within the school year and the coming year as we increase those numbers of people that we are hiring. We hire about 12 to 20 school-based administrators each year, and the teachers that we hire are really in all areas. So there's never really one specific area that we're looking at hiring over others. And oftentimes we hear from people that, there's a huge shortage of special education teachers or bilingual teachers within their districts, which oftentimes, that can be the case. But for us, because we have tried very hard to create those cohort opportunities and so forth to add those specializations, we are kind of pretty evenly hiring in all the positions at all times. So I'm talking very fast because I want to get as much information to you guys as possible. But please stop me at any time if you have any questions. The hiring process and timelines, we have started posting positions. So not all of our positions are posted because we're still waiting after this whole virus mess and everything else. All of our hiring stuff was completely put on hold. And so we've been kind of waiting to hear from people you know, if anybody's planning on retiring and if anybody's planning on moving, if they're being hired elsewhere. So a lot of our positions have not been posted yet, and which is very unusual for us because we're usually posting about the end of March, early April. We already have most of our positions posted and it's our big hiring season. So as of now, positions are coming open. Some of our positions that you will find that we have been posting are pretty site specific. This year we try to go very site specific, so people knew exactly what they were applying for, and very little pool hirings. One of the ones that we will be doing a lot of pool hiring from is going to be our bilingual teacher pool. And so that may be, if you're looking at being a bilingual teacher, that may be one of the first positions you want to apply for, because regardless of the postings, that may be somewhere we're pulling candidates from. So you can find that on that link that I have on the screen. That is the employment page, and I will make this bigger so that you're actually able to see that. And so all of our applications are electronic. You apply for those specific jobs, and once everything is complete, your resume, work history, etc., you know, you may submit. We right now, because of everything going on, we understand that it's going to be very hard to upload like letters of recommendation and so forth, because some people may not be available. So if you can just put as much information there as possible, and then as soon as, you know, if you're offered a position, we will ask for those when that time comes, if you are not able to have them available as of now. The other thing I would say is there is an option to submit a resume to our talent bank. And a lot of people do, but I do every time as a response to those resumes, what I say is, please make sure you have applied. It's really important that you apply, because even if you do send in a resume, we are not able to do anything with that unless you have applied. Yes, please, if you are really serious about coming to Salem-Keizer and you want to have this conversation with me, please email me, please send me a resume directly, but please also make sure that you have applied to one of the positions, at least one of the positions as well. So when you complete that application, you will receive an email from us inviting you to participate in a video screening interview. It's really important that you follow through with that, because that video screening interview goes to all the hiring supervisors that you apply for. So any of the positions you apply for, they will get to access that. They will get to access the video, and they will be able to see who you are and you know, the answers to your questions prior to inviting you to that one-on-one opportunity. And you can complete that interview at your convenience, but I do say try to do it as quickly as possible. You can do it on anything, your phone, your tablet, computer, and it really is kind of one of those situations that kind of gives you an opportunity to introduce yourself prior to being invited to one of these one-on-one interviews. For some people, I know that it's kind of scary because it feels like you're just talking to a screen, but let me assure you that everybody's doing the same thing, so it won't be weird. So if you apply, this is kind of what the interview is going to look like, the link for the video interview. So you will receive an email that's similar to this. So if you want to take a peek at that. Okay. So if you are not called for a full-time position, which I would say apply, and do not be discouraged yet if you don't hear back from anybody, because we are very slow in our hiring process right now with everything going on. But if that doesn't work out and you are serious about moving to Oregon, one of the other things that I like to tell people, it's that, you know, to get your foot in the door, becoming a licensed substitute is also a great opportunity. That will get you some access to different buildings and getting to know different hiring supervisors. And a lot of people have found success starting out that way, because then they're able, you know, when they find a site that they really like and the site really likes them, you know, opportunities come up all the time and they already know them, so they will reach out to them and invite them to apply and interview for those positions. And usually it works out really well. Site-specific postings for 2021, like I said, some have already been posted. Some will be available soon. Administrative pool postings and screening interviews happened earlier, so I think most of those have already happened. There might be a couple sites that still are looking for an administrator. So this year, I think we're going to be hiring April through September and beyond. So we're always hiring throughout the year, but our biggest hiring times would be then. So we do say make connections. So take advantage of the people that you know within our district and have those conversations of your interests, who you are, what you want to do within our district. I think it's really important to make those connections. We do tell a lot of our younger teachers, you know, clean up your social media. For those of you that are just starting to come into the profession, it's serious because you are then working with the public, and it's really interesting. But a lot of the families like to look, you know, up their teachers and so forth, and so we always just give that advice. I mean, it is your social media, but we just say, you know, if you want to just make sure that there's that that line between your families and yourself. Is just really important to clean up that social media. And before you come into interviews, know your why. Know why you want to be a teacher. Know why you went into the profession. Know what your hopes and aspirations are within the profession. I think that is what makes a great interview. And researching our district prior to the interview, I think, is also really important. There's a lot of information about us on our website. I think it's really important to read through it so you know who we are and what you'd be coming into. Finishing strong in your current position or in your program, I think, is advisable, because we do reach out to those people and we want to hear great things. And maintaining professional courtesies and appearance is really important, I think, for our students and staff and families as well. So we ask that you don't take the process for granted, that you're, you know, advocating for yourself and making sure that, you know, your stuff gets submitted, that things are done, and that you're continuing communication with those people that you're interested in working with. We don't recommend making unannounced visits to see administrators because oftentimes they, you know, they're either busy interviewing other people around this time or just kind of trying to get their school year wrapped up and then the next one started. If you do go on vacation during the hiring season, try to be in a place where you are still available, even over the phone, because if you do get invited to an interview, they're going to want to get a hold of you for that. And please do not have a closed mind. I always like to share my story. When I went into teaching, I was actually a pool hire, and so at the time they had asked me, you know, what locations I wanted and what grade levels I wanted, and I was very specific about what I wanted, and I was really excited to get that. And I remember getting my phone call and being told, you know, my heart was set at the early elementary level, so K first, second, maybe. And I remember getting the call and being told I was going to teach fourth grade, and my world shattered. I was crying. I was an emotional mess. And come to realize that that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. I enjoyed my classroom so much. I loved teaching fourth grade. And if I ever had to go back to teaching, I would teach fourth grade again. And this is coming from a person that has worked at the early childhood, elementary, middle, and now high school level, as well as now the district office. If I ever had to go back to teaching, it would be fourth grade. So please do not have a closed mind. The more you're willing to learn and explore new grade levels and new interests, I think you are really going to benefit from that, and you will find some pretty good rewards. So I am now going to stop my screen share. And I'm going to resume the video. Just, do you have any questions for me? I see that message from Giselle. Perfect. Yes, Giselle, if you are interested in having a further conversation or you know, just chatting a little bit more about the district at all, I am happy to have a one-on-one with you. You are the only person on our Zoom group right now, so if you have anything that you would like to ask or talk about, please feel free to do so. You will have my contact information, so you're welcome to reach out. And then if there's anybody else that you think would benefit from the information, please feel free to share.
Thanks again, Amy, for all this great information. It's funny how you said fourth grade. For me, first and second, I loved first grade. I loved first grade.
Right.
So for me, if I had to go back, it'd be first grade.
Yes, yes. It's definitely one of those things that you think you know what you want, but then it's like, oh, look at this. This is great.
Yeah, I did a long term in like a fourth grade class, and I was like,
Not your thing.
nope,
And
mine's like,
everybody's so different.
but I don't like kinder either. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm like, that's just too young. I need like the first to third grade is my little.
Yeah. Well, I had taught preschool as a non-licensed teacher. And so that's why my heart was so set on pre-K first, second at most.